Hey everybody, welcome back to 90 Now. I'm your host Timothy Holt, and this is 6 Points Youth Group. So the last few weeks we've had technical difficulties. We were doing a live stream, and then we got back in our building, and due to, I think it's the concrete walls, we haven't been able to do the live streams or record our Wednesday night meetings. So to get you caught up to speed, I'll have to look back to see when our last one was, but we are covering chapter 14 of 1 Corinthians tonight. I'm going to try to record that again and then get it edited and put out later this week. But just to recap, last week we covered 1 Corinthians 13, and 1 Corinthians 13 is known as the love chapter. So we went through it in context with what's going on in ancient Corinth at the time, as well as what it means for us today. The Apostle Paul points to love as a very different construct than what the ancient Corinthians would have envisioned love. And it's also very different than what our mainstream media, what our culture here in the United States, as well as here in Western Pennsylvania, view love as. I'm actually going to show you these marker boards because these are the notes. One of our teenagers, Zach, he insisted on taking notes on the marker board last week, which was great. I was super excited about that. And he wrote down everything on the marker boards, which is pretty cool. And since they're still up and I haven't erased them for tonight's class, I'm going to go over with this video and cover what we talked about. So here we go. First thing we're going to do is we're going to look at what love is not. So you can look at 1 Corinthians chapter 13 to see what love is not. And as you can see, we've got clanging cymbals, we got words of angels, ringing brass songs, feeding the poor, what's this, gift of prophecy, the last one, all mysteries of faith, and I'm not sure what that word is. But we've got money, miracles. Let's see, what's over here? More money again, kissing, sex, making out. Those are all things that love is not. Okay, so according to Paul, as he's writing to the Corinthians, those are not love. So if we look at the actual text, Paul points out what love is not right away. He says, though I speak with tongues of angels and men, but have not love, I've become sounding brass and a clanging cymbal. And he goes on with prophecy, being able to move mountains. I think that's what that other thing was over there. And he lists all kinds of good things, like feeding the poor and sacrificing your body. But he ends it with, it profits me nothing. Nothing. Because that's not what love is. Love is not physical. Love is spiritual. The love that Paul is pointing out here is fascinating because it's a very different or foreign concept than what ancient Corinthians or even us today would recognize love as. If you watch music videos or you watch TikTok or any of the other entertainment venues out there, and they're going to tell you what love is, and that's not what Paul teaches love is. That's not what Jesus teaches love is. It's a self-centered, narcissistic love. It's what can I get out of it? What can you do for me? It's physical pleasures and things of that nature. And ancient Corinth was no different. Their patron saint goddess was Aphrodite, the goddess of sex and fertility. So there were prostitutions all over the place in ancient Corinth. But starting in verse 4, he gives what love really is. And that's what we have up here. Zach was great about pointing out all the adjectives that Paul uses. He's got patient, kind, not jealous, not boasting, behaves, no unrighteousness, no dishonor. It's not selfish. It's not angered. Okay? So never fails. He points out that you can speak with different languages, but that's not love. And we didn't quite finish up, we ran out of time last week, but I'm going to put in our video here. And that is how he concludes the chapter. He says, when I was a child, I spoke as a child. I understood as a child. I thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put off childish things or childish ways. For now we see in a mirror dimly, but then face to face. Now I know in parts, but then I shall know just as I also am known. And now abide faith, hope, love. These three things, but the greatest is love. By the way, that's where we're going to be, as the teens arrive this evening, we're going to be picking up right there where we left off. We're going to pick up there at verse 13 of chapter 13, and we're going to be covering chapter 14. I'm going to try to record it tonight, see how it works. If I get it recorded, it'll be uploaded later in the week. So stay tuned for that. And it's amazing what these ancient writings have in store for us, because we can turn on your phone, you can turn on YouTube, you can turn on TikTok, and everybody's going to tell you what their definitions of various things are, but that doesn't mean that they're going to be wise or hold true. So with that, I'm going to conclude this video. I just wanted to reach out. I am going to go back through the parts that we missed and look at my notes, try to come up with some videos for you to fill in those gaps. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Love you guys. Thank you for supporting this channel. Find a teenager to mentor. If you're a teenager, find some old fart to be mentored by. And I mean that with love and compassion, okay? Because find someone who you can look up to and admire, and just get with them and gain wisdom, because it's going to benefit you in life. As always, I'm Timothy Holt. God's awesome, and thank you for watching. May God bless you.